Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Our question today is, how many different ways can this chord function diatonically in a major key? All right, that's a bit of a mouthful, but let's see if we can figure it out. From low to high, the notes written are G, D, B, and then G. Now to build the chord, we don't have to worry about doublings, so we can get rid of this top G in terms of spelling the chord. Now we've got three different notes. We've got G, D, and B from low to high. We want to arrange these notes into ascending thirds, and with these letter names, the only way to do that is to label G as the root, B as the third of the chord, and then D as the fifth of the chord. So this is some kind of G chord. Now, to figure out what type of G chord, major, minor, augmented, or diminished, we have to look at the intervals between the notes. G up to B is a major third, it's 4 half steps. B up to D is a minor third, it's 3 half steps. That means what we have here is a major chord, because the recipe for a major chord is major third plus minor third. Okay, so our chord written here is a G major chord. Now for the question, how can this chord, this G major chord, function diatonically in a major key? When you're thinking of major keys or minor keys, what we're doing is we're taking a group of notes that's based on the major or the minor scale, and then we're arranging them to create a piece. And we're also arranging those notes to build chords. So if I take the notes of the C major scale, and I'm choosing C major because we don't have any sharps or flats, we have natural notes. And if I'm going to build chords from these notes, all I need to do is stack thirds using these available notes. So in the key of C major, if we build a chord on the first scale degree or the tonic note, which is the note C, we get a C, E, G chord happening, and that ends up being a major chord. So our 1 chord in the key of C is a major chord. The 2 chord would be D, F, and A, and that ends up being a minor chord. The 3 chord, E, G, B, that's also a minor chord. The 4 chord ends up being major. The 5 chord is major. The 6 chord is minor. The 7 chord ends up being diminished. And then we're back to tonic. We're back to the 1 chord being major again. So you notice here with these Roman numerals, I put lower and uppercase Roman numerals to indicate major or minor. Now, in the case of G major, here's what it is. In any major key, you can have major chords on the 1 chord, the 4 chord, or the 5 chord. Okay? So let's start with the 1 chord here. In the key of G major, the G major chord would be a 1 chord. So this chord could function diatonically in the key of G major. It also could function as the 4 chord in what key? If you know your major scales, you know that the note G is the 4th scale degree of the D major scale. That means the G major chord could function as the 4 chord in the key of D major. And then finally, our last option here, the 5 chord. Well, G major is the 5 chord in the key of C major. So this chord could function as the 1 chord in G major, the 4 chord in D major, or the 5 chord in the key of C major. You've got 3 options. I hope that all makes sense. I know that's quite a bit to go through, but feel free to leave me a comment, ask a question, and I'll see you next time.